All right, today we're diving into a revolution that's not just about software or some app on your phone. Nope, we're talking about a revolution that's changing the very atoms of our physical world. We are right at the dawn of the generative age in engineering, where AI is shifting from just being a tool to being the architect.
Just think about this for a second. What if you could create some of the most complex things imaginable? A bridge, a circuit board, a prosthetic limb, just by describing what you want. No super complex CAD software, no painstaking manual drafting. You just have an idea, and you can basically speak it into existence. It sounds like pure science fiction, I know, but this is the reality we are hurtling towards.
But, to really get why this new age is such a massive deal, we have to understand the problem it's solving. For decades, engineering has been pushing the limits of what's possible, but not too long ago, it kind of hit a wall. A wall we can call the complexity crisis. And a perfect example of this? Just look at microchips. I mean, our own creations have become so mind-bogglingly intricate that the human brain, as amazing as it is, just can't keep up. We're designing systems with billions of tiny components, where one single mistake can cost millions of dollars and set a project back by months. We were literally being outpaced by our own ambition. So, what changed? What was the breakthrough? Well, it wasn't just a slightly better piece of software or a faster computer. It was a fundamental shift, a whole new operating system, and not for your laptop, but for the entire physical world. At the heart of it all is this idea, the industrial AI operating system. See, for years, we've been making digital twins, these perfect 3D models of a factory or a new product, but they were just static blueprints. This new system, it turns that blueprint into a living, thinking thing. It's kind of like giving a factory its own AI brain that can constantly learn, adapt, and improve itself. Now, this didn't just pop up out of nowhere, right? It's the result of several massive technologies all crashing together at the perfect time. You've got the incredible creative power of generative AI dreaming up things we've never seen before. You've got the raw horsepower of NVIDIA's GPUs simulating them at lightning speed. And you have the industrial metaverse, this virtual space where you can test it all out. And all of this is being supercharged by huge partnerships between the giants of the industry. Siemens, NVIDIA, Autodesk, they're all in on this. So what this all means is that we are finally closing the loop between imagination and reality. The goal, like this quote from the Siemens and NVIDIA team says, is to bridge the gap between abstract engineering ideas and physical reality. An idea can now be born, simulated, tested, and totally perfected in a virtual world with near-perfect physical accuracy, all before a single screw is turned in the real one.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But what does it actually look like when the rubber hits the road? The answer is pretty wild. AI is already redesigning, well, pretty much everything.
Let's start big. I mean, really big. We're not just talking about tweaking a single robot on an assembly line. We're talking about AI orchestrating the entire factory floor like a symphony conductor, making sure everything is running at peak efficiency.
And the results? They are absolutely staggering. Just look at what PepsiCo managed to do by creating a digital twin of its factories. A 20% jump in throughput is huge, sure, but the real jaw-dropper is this last one, finding 90% of potential problems before you even start building. Think about that. You can find 9 out of 10 disasters before you've spent a single dollar on steel or concrete. That completely changes the game.
Okay, so now let's zoom way in. From the scale of a massive factory, let's go down to the microscopic world of a semiconductor. Remember that complexity crisis we talked about? Well, AI is here to solve it.
100,000x. Seriously, just let that number hang there for a second. What in the world could possibly be 100,000 times faster?
Okay, so here's what that number is all about. It comes from Siemens Hyperlink software, which simulates electronics 100,000-fold speedup. But it's not just that one tool. Look at the whole list. A chip layout process that used to take 3 weeks now takes 1 day. The time it takes to check for errors, slashed by a factor of 10. These are not small, incremental improvements. This is a total revolution in how we design the brains for every piece of technology we own.
So we've gone from massive factories to microscopic chips. Now let's talk about the stuff in between. The actual nuts and bolts, the physical parts that make up our world. This is where things get really creative.
So first up, we had this thing called topology optimization. The best way to think about it is like a super smart digital sculptor. You give it a finished design, like a solid block for a metal bracket, and the AI mathematically figures out all the unnecessary bits to chip away, making it just as strong but way lighter. It takes your existing idea and makes it better.
But generative design is a whole different beast. It's not a sculptor improving your work. It's like having 1,000 brilliant architects brainstorming for you. You don't give it a finished design, you just give it the rules of the game. Hey, I need a part. It's got to hold this much weight, be made of aluminum, cost less than $10, and I need to 3D print it. The AI then goes and explores thousands of totally new designs from scratch to find the absolute best one, and it's often a solution a human would never have even thought of.
And if you think that's wild, check out the next leap. Autodesk's Project Bernini is pushing towards what's called neural CAD. Here, the AI just intuitively understands physical objects. You don't even need to feed it complex engineering rules. You can give it a sketch, a photo, or just type a prompt like a coffee mug with a handle that looks like a cat's tail, and poof, it generates a real, functional 3D model. We're right back at that sci-fi idea from the beginning, designed by description.
So with all this insane new power, it brings up the big question, right? Where do we, the humans, fit into all this? As AI gets more and more autonomous, what's the job of the human engineer? And yeah, this has kicked off a major debate.
And really, this whole debate comes down to two competing ideas. On one side, you've got the push for full autonomy. This is all about speed, efficiency, return on investment. And you can see why. With 63% of companies seeing a return on AI in a single quarter, the business pressure is on. But on the other side, you've got the human-in-the-loop philosophy. This side is pumping the brakes a bit, saying, hey, what about safety? What about trust? Especially in critical fields like healthcare or defense. You can't just trust a black box AI. You need a human there to validate things. It's the classic battle between how fast can we go and are we sure this is safe?
And look, this isn't just some philosophical debate for the future. It's showing up in the real-world challenges engineers are worried about today. Look at number 2, cybersecurity. Of course, as all this incredibly valuable design data moves onto AI platforms, you better believe protecting it is a huge deal. And number 3, finding skilled labor. The skills you need are changing fast. It's less about manual drafting and more about being able to manage these incredibly complex AI systems.
Okay, so let's pull out the crystal ball for a minute. Where is all this taking us? If we fast forward to the end of the decade, what kind of world is this technology building? Well, it's going to be an adaptive and autonomous one.
By 2030, our world is going to feel, well, more alive. The industrial metaverse will probably be the starting point for any big project, from a skyscraper to a new city. We'll start to see wireless power become a real utility, powering fleets of robots and even charging our cars while we drive on the highway. Our infrastructure, the power grid, traffic systems, will become adaptive, optimizing itself on the fly. And maybe the wildest part, engineering is going to merge with biology, creating things like 4D printed implants that can actually change and adapt inside a person's body.
So here's the bottom line. The whole job of being an engineer is changing. It's a shift away from being the drafter, the person who draws every single line. Now they're becoming the conductors of a vast AI orchestra, guiding this incredible creative and logical power. And that leaves us with the biggest question of all. With the power to design almost anything we can imagine, what new worlds will we choose to create?